all the major projects, including the biggest hall at Akachi Setek, which we commissioned when we came for the 25th anniversary of Akachi Setek Secondary Technical School, was done under your leadership. When you left, all those 3 road projects were stopped. We will support you, hoping that when you come, you will complete all those roads. You have done it before, and we are confident that you will do it when you come. It's not about me. It's not about you, but it's about for the people, our people. There are a lot of projects that we did. Water reservoir in Avenor, we did it under you Mills administration. The old one collapsed. The number of schools that we have built, Akachi is expanding, so we decided to build a lot of primary schools. The technical practice school, the Akachi practice school, we built 2, we built classrooms there, about 2. Demonstration, we built 2. We did it for Toba, we did it for Monoma, many places. Because there's no time, I can't mention all of them. Mr. President, if some of us and our people continue to follow you, it's not because of NDC alone, but it's because of your leadership. Mr. President, there are a lot of work to be done, and that Rome was not built in a day. There are a lot that we are expecting, that when we give you the money, which we shall, you'll be able to. No matter yet to the share of organ, when I do it, you never hear party at here. Yeah, yeah, we donate or do it. Ojuba, they want to raise Akachi to municipal status. The information I took from local government about 3 weeks ago is that they are in the process of doing it. But when they are not able to do it, we can. We are pleading that you raise it to a municipal status for us. We are supporting you and we are pleading that the district hospital, you complete it, finish it, as you are promised already in your manifesto. We are praying that you'll be able to do all those things when you come back. The electrification project that you awarded before you left office, work on them is at a slow pace. You don't know whether they are stopped or they are continuing. Mr. President, I was more or less a rural constituency. And so if I'm talking about development projects for our people, you must understand where we are coming from. I don't want to preempt you, but I know that job for our youth is critical and it's on your manifesto and your agenda. Maybe when you come, you yourself will speak on that. On behalf of the party, in the constituency, Mr. President, we warmly once again welcome you, and you can count on us that we shall deliver come 7 December. We did the registration well. We were short by about 3,000 compared to the 2020 register. But Mr. President, I can tell you what some of those votes are. And I'm coordinating those votes. Because of the decision we've taken as a party, that we don't want undue movement of our people with transportation and all those things. Some did not come. But I know the number that we have registered, I know where they are, and when the time comes, you have only one constituency, that is the whole Ghana. We shall tell them what to do. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, I got that better kind of me up speaker hohoto. I'm a gapiaro klo me up duplolara afiva. Yata nyoba me ada jesio. Never oma vo me up togbio secretary. Never the togbio mavo amatora afiami adumaga akpa. Yata mako nyanto me up constituency chairman. Apoto Anthony Kojo Ousu Elafia. Nenamaka Nyanto, your former Vice Chancellor, University of Professional Studies, Professor Joshua Alabi. Yanya campaign manager. Na miapa flag bearer. Nenamaka Mianto Miavi Miapa Sota Kokomanola. Honorable Bernard Ahiafo. Namaka bakwa pato Chris Podo ala afipato we. Namaka miapa former chief of staff apato Julius Debra ala afia. Namaka miapa former deputy national women organizer Dr. Catherine Denu. Mianto miano vie cho agbozume. Nanamaka miapa na regional women organizer Fafa Agbai. Ikenya DC hohona Northton. Miapa treasure la fia Antonia Dotevi. Da miapa mianto miavi regional secretary Apoto James Gunu Elafia Miato Miavie Miapa regional chairman Bubuto Henry Amatapi Ikemega Yonaba Brigadier the political cycle Brigadier no introduce solo what just show then Miato Miapa former speaker Right Honorable Do Ajaho. Dongo mianyaba miapa Bishop Kumoji and Ofia Hokolara Yata upper special assistant Father Father Ruben Ajaki Eletapa Kaka Bishop Agatroba Afmiakpa. Introduction Aroa Amaragona Ogayata Nyamoga Reko Yata Secretary well quickly.
Honorable MC. I knew mama the Tokyo Kata Klama Kata Fiaga Kadeita Yahuinamba ma at the Tatoma of Araquafia, the Nikatafa Uncom. Mama Saushi Sapaku Adelia and Yafa Miafia Gafa Yonufia. Mama Avabo Avelia Hanya Yonfia Odomatoraka Ladushi Valoguma. Mama Yasidi Atolia Hanya Tobiga for Yonufia Alamia Duma. tɔgbi sakpaku asiekelia nye miafia gã na Avenor ele mia dome. Tɔgbi aklime adifu enelia ame yi nye dome ʋalɔgo ƒe fiagã eye wòganya aʋadada na Avenor hafi ganya tɔgbi gã dɔglo ƒe ezimenɔla ƒe kpeɖeŋutɔ vice president Avenor traditional council ele mia dome. Ke tɔgbi dɔglo anuma adelia ame yi nye fiagã na Avenor eye wòganye aɖaŋudeha gã na Avenor fiawo ƒe ezimenɔla ele mia dome. Eƒe aʋalɔgo me fiawo, mamawo, zikpuitɔwo, agbotaɖoawo, tsamiawo kple megbedawo katã wole mia dome kple míaƒe zongo ƒe ame gakpuiwo tso ʋute kple akatsi wole mia dome. Akpe na mi.
Yo akpe na míaƒe tɔgbuiwo ƒe agbalẽdzigla ke míayi dzi míaƒe Muslim community wole mía dome alebe ame yi ke le ŋgɔgbe na wo nye Adamu ta wonɔ ŋgɔgbe afi. Nenema ke míaƒe nufiala xɔdzidzɔwo ƒe habɔbɔ Pensioners Association Capteti kple Senate wo katã le afia. Nenema ke míaƒe Dressmakers and Tailors Association, Hairdressers and Association, wo katã wole afia. Nenema ke Traditional Healers Association, wohã le mia gbɔ. Nenema ke Drivers Union, míaƒe Local Council of Churches, wohã wole mia gbɔ yi ke mekpo Reverend Adika kple Pastor Kludziwo katã wova. Nenema ke míaƒe fadawo tso Catholic Secretariat wole mia gbɔ. Yata míayi dzi míaxɔ gbedeasi tso míaƒe tɔgbigã gbɔ. Nenye be míexɔ ma vɔ míaƒe Labour Union so ame ɖeka ava ƒo ŋu ɖe mia ŋu koa ke míaƒe MP nava akpe. Yata tɔgbigã. Yadi kɔ ya. Madi.
Your Excellency, former President of the Republic of Ghana, Right Honorable former Speaker, members, honorable members of the entourage of the former President, Tagbio, Mamao, all protocols observed. I would like to specially welcome the former President, John Dramani Mahama, and his entire entourage on behalf of the Avenor Traditional Council, behalf of the people of Akachi South. Former President, you and your entourage are warmly welcome to Akachi South. And we thank you for your visit. We are happy that you've come today to engage us, to be in our midst. We want to thank you for your offer of financial support for the Avenor to 2000 last year. We recollect that you sent some cash donation, and we want to say thank you for that. We thank you for the Avenor Senior High School. Thank you again for the numerous projects you have executed at ACAST, the dining hall, administration block, 12 classroom block. Also for the hospital project, which is currently at 90% completion. The roads, Vuta Road, Kefia, Tajavu Road, first phase of Akachi Town roads. We thank you for that. And we thank you for the basic schools, 6-unit classroom block at Achijiva, Tova, Chakate, Logote, and other places. We, the chiefs, are very happy for those projects that you've executed, because we are encouraging a discourse within this traditional area, within the Kachi South, that is emphasizing on what the members of the political class can offer to the Avenor Traditional Council, to the Akachi South District. We are keenly bent on improving the material conditions of our people. So we will call on you that should you have the chance, the following projects will have to be completed. That is the hospital project, which is currently at 90% completion, administration block, classroom, also the Akachi Avodakpa Road, the Havi to Sifa Road, and other roads in the district. Yes. We are of the firm conviction that if roads are improved, it will lead to rapid economic development of our area and serve to further expand the area. Actually, for some time now, we've been very disappointed by certain actions of certain people within the ranks of the NDC that led to a serious strain in the relationship between the Avenor Traditional Council and the NDC as a political party. We'll want you to take special interest in that matter. Yes. If it weren't for the actions of our dynamic MP, Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, who has played a very important role in trying to maintain that relationship between the Avenor Traditional Council and the NDC. I don't know where that relationship will be by now. Yes, the former speaker in his speech touched on a very sensitive topic that he gathers that we are about to offer giving municipal status. It would have been better if he had not gone there, because it's a very sensitive topic to us. Yes, our people have been very loyal to the NDC for years, and we had expected that from the NDC. We had expected to be given a traditional council, but that wasn't done. And we keep asking why. What have we done? So his statement that we are about to be given or elevated to municipal status is a very sensitive one. Beyond these, I would like to call on all political activists, people involved in this year's election, that they should prosecute an issue-based campaign devoid of violence. We want to call on them again not to involve our youth in vigilante activity. I'm speaking to all parties in this sense. All the things we are asking for, all that we hope, all our aspirations cannot be achieved if there is no peace. So we want to get an assurance from the political leaders. I know this year's election is a very sensitive one. It will be a keenly contested one which has never taken place in the history of the country. That's why we are calling and urging that the peace of the country should be paramount. On this note, you have our blessing to go to any part of the Avenor traditional area to campaign and canvass for the votes of the citizenry. You are warmly welcome, and we are happy to have you here. Thank you very much. Avenor.
Yo, me, you da pena, you have talk with.
Introduce you, then you say some few words. Yeah. Then you save the program. Mr. President.
Miapa Tobiga Pangpo, Miapa identifiable group, America, Ava, Minitoma Toko, Labai Value. No more radio, as of Angogba.
His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, incoming President, December 7th and January 7th. Our Honorable MP, all protocols observed. You are all welcome. I speak on behalf of the entrepreneurship and other artisans here concerning the GPRTU, the garages, the hairdressers or cosmetologians, the fashion designers, etc. Shimanola Bubuto, Majema Zamakoko Madakpana, Miafa Duplola Hohoa, Ameke Gagbonava Duplo, Shahoga, le December, Fangakan Dragbe, Depamia Dominonota, Ye Majeba Magaglohabe. La fashion no economia de mi vaia a pas d'owa a jaction la bebe e ba mi a shin do la wa mi a fa d'owa do ko zona tan a jochi na mi la bebe ke me je mi ga gblon ha ba mi a fa MP pekpekpedam gede iko na mi la mi a fa nto ma a chemi an ayo nyakpona mi ma fa gbado ma la be amanto fa dagba ma yoku drero kado komeje na gada kukuba le miafa dukpala hoko fa shiji no no yi mo no nya awo do gada ika wo na ba youth employment yo na ba so he gada wo gada shim do so roma kaka jogbe freto yo ba dogole shiji kwa iko nwu yo kata woyi ɖe tsie alebe míega kuku ɖem nɛ be nenye be wòtrɔ gbɔ va wòdze gbagba sɔhɛ geɖewo le siɖikia dzi yiyim a wòkpe ɖe wo ŋu alebe sɔhɛwo katã nɔ kpo dɔwɔɖuia le mía abe driverwo míaƒe akpadzia ŋgɔnɔlawoe nana be míaƒe dɔwɔnawoa wòdze atsyɔ alebe míegblẽ be alo nye míaƒe dzidzi be dziŋu ɖe september alo dziŋu seke ɖe sia ɖe míatse míaƒe ŋgɔgbenɔlawo gake le ƒe yi ke va yi 2019 da asi ne fifia ŋgɔgbenɔla ɖeke megale mía si o ewɔe be míaƒe dɔwɔnawoa womegale afɔ eve dzi o mie kuku ɖem be nenye be ne trɔ va si dzia nakpe ɖe mía ŋu be ale míaƒe akɔdadawo míetsena míaƒe ŋunɔlawoa wògayi dzi nenema ke míega kuku ɖem be nenye be ne va ɖoa akatsidua elolo nava atu hehexɔƒe gã aɖe na mí abe míawo asiŋudɔwɔlawo ne be nenye be ɣeyiɣi aɖe dea míanɔ fi ma yim ava nɔ ŋu srɔ̃m nenema ke míamewo nye dɔnyalawo le teƒeawo hã míhiã kpekpe ɖe ŋu be míaƒe ŋusɔsrɔ̃wo edziedzia wònɔ dzi yim alabe ŋma edi tome va yi gake yi ne va do le tsi dzi ko ŋu yawo katã wozu gba ɖe gbenya míemɔ kpɔm be nenye be mawu gã sobolisa yi ke le dziƒo enye ŋutokpe eɖe mɔ ye míemɔ hã kpɔm be kaka ŋtsɔma na ɖo December 7 fa edukplɔzia asiwo su ge nenye be sɔsiwoa naɖo ŋku mía dzi alebe míawo hã míele megbe na o abe leke ŋuƒolawo gbedoŋ be tɔgbiwo le megbe na míawo asiŋudɔwɔlawo hã míele megbe na wo goŋgoŋ be míewɔ ge ne wòanyo míeda akpe be ne va mía gbɔ akpe.
Yo míeda akpe na míaƒe dɔdzikpɔlawo alo Labour Union ƒe rep mía dzi mede dzesi míaƒe DC xoxo aƒenɔ Victoria Gidiglo Naza nenema ke aƒetɔ Samuel Kɔdzo Huari wole mía dome mía dzi míaƒe sewɔtakpekpemenɔla Honorable Bernard Ahiafo ava ana míaƒe gbedeasi kple wòaɖe míaƒe aflagatsɔla afia mí akpe.
Ayazu akpe. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and then the entourage, former Speaker of Parliament, Togbio, Mamao, Eduaja, Madeja Shimikata, Nyawezo, Nyaweva, a dog, La Bobunyama, Majibama, Ade, Amatohea, Kelemiadomi, Aikata, Mikata, Mifufuda, Afiado, Togboba, Mikata, Mielatohe. Yaka mon pokpo yaka sosinya amama yo jaba made afia edua. It is indeed an honor done me to be called upon to introduce to you our own father, leader, flag bearer, former president, and soon to be president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Your Excellency, on behalf of the people of Akachi South constituency, the Avenor Traditional Council, the chiefs and the Queen Mothers, you are warmly welcome to Akachi South constituency. In our local language, we say, Wezo. Agba, anyang keketoke ada. Eka miafa dukrola koko agara miadome. Ahabiemo to miagbo. Bananya ba miesa yenko. Alo ye vio fanko. La miafa ntome. Ye bobrudodo aji yim. Ba miadakone aye. Aba dukrola ne. Adakone nyento. abe esewa takpekpe me nɔla ene egba ye mɔ nukpɔkpɔ azam emɔ biam tso mia tɔgbiwo gbɔ be miaɖe mɔ ne age ɖe miaƒe ŋutowo me ahawɔ campaign nenye be miexɔe de mea ke mi fɔ kpe ga ɖe enyama dzi nyeme eya ɖe ge le aʋala me nɛ o ye ŋutɔ egbedashi ke le shia egbɔna egblɔ ge ne emi ke mase tɔnya ɖe afi ya ahagblɔ ne mi be miawoe zɔ miele ŋkeke tɔxɛ aɖe me ale be egbedashia katã se ge miele tso egbɔ ne mietrɔ eyi ɖe miaƒe ŋutowo mea midze gbagba gbedashia naɖo miateviwo katã gbɔ ale be eƒe dziŋu yeva ƒe ŋkeke adreagbea ame sia ame nava de ŋu ɖe aɖɔka me ne His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as President of the Republic of Ghana. Afia kple eƒe atsiklɔtsɔlae ne mi de ɖe aɖaka me nɛ vɔ ke miaɖo ŋku nye hã dzinye miade ɖe aɖaka me ne ma be miaƒe sewɔtakpekpe me nɔla ene akpe na mi miawoe zɔ loo.
Yo, míeda akpe ne míaƒe sewɔtakpekpe nɔla efia míaƒe flag bearer menye na be partitɔ sɔgbɔ fi o anye ne míedzi míaƒe adzɔgbe ɖe hama arise arise for Ghana. Ready? Go. Yes, future revolution.
Thank you very much and good morning. I think when I have the time I'll invite the MC and I'll teach him how to sing the NDC anthem. But let me express my warmest greetings to Togbiwo Mamao, to all the interest groups that are gathered here with us today, and also my special greetings to the representative of the Bishop, Father Senu. Extend our kind regards to your boss for all the help that he's been giving to Akachi South. Togbiwo Mamao, I want to begin by thanking you and the people of Akachi South for coming out in your numbers during the period of registration. The right to register and vote is a very basic right of every citizen of this country. And during the registration exercise, people came out in their numbers and registered despite incidents of harassment that were recorded in many parts. It is my hope that we'll also come out in our numbers on 7 December 2020 to come and exercise our votes so that we can participate in determining the destiny of our country and deciding who governs our country over the next 4 years until 2024. I want to say that in NDC we don't believe in use of vigilantes. We believe that the communities should be sufficiently able to protect their own ballot, because that ballot box contains the voice of the community, and it is the voices of our communities all over the country, more than 33,000 polling stations, that come together to elect the president and to elect their members of parliament during general elections. And so it is the duty of the community to make sure that that ballot box counts in determining what happens in this country. And so you don't need vigilantes to come and protect the ballot box. The community itself can protect its ballot box and make sure that it is counted and that their voices count in determining the destiny of their nation. And so we leave the ballot boxes in your hands. We are not going to bring vigilantes to come and protect the ballot box. The community must protect its own ballot box. And if anybody comes and attempts to disrupt the voting procedure in your community, it's your duty to resist him. The Constitution gives you the right to resist that person because the person is trying to subvert the Constitution of Ghana. And so we commit that into your hands. And as I said yesterday, often when we are counseling our children, we try to make it general. But among the children, you know the one who is a bad boy or a bad child. And even though you counsel all of us and say politicians, all of you know who is the one who is the bad child amongst your children. And from time to time, you must call them out and let them know that you are talking to them. We know who use vigilantes in this country. We know who has the invisible forces and the Delta forces and the Bolga bulldogs and all of them. We know who caused violence in Iwasu West Wogon, shot and injured people. We know those people. And so often we take the advice as political parties. But then I think that the traditional rulers too, from time to time, should call out that particular bad child who is, creating the havoc, so that that child knows that he's the one you are talking to. I thank you very much, Togbe, for all the words you said. You spoke about the development projects that were undertaken when we were in government. And indeed, that is the tragedy of our country in terms of our progress. The fact that taxpayers' money is used for the projects that you recounted, all the projects that we did in Akachi South under Professor Mills and I, the money did not come from our pockets. It's not my personal money. It is the money that is contributed by Ghana's taxpayers. And so all of us, the taxes we pay is what we use to construct the district hospital. All of us, the taxes we pay is what we use to construct the roads. All of us, the taxes we pay is what we use to extend electricity to our various communities. And it is unfortunate that we will put taxpayers' money in projects like this, and then just because government has changed, the projects come to a standstill. The taxpayers' money is wasted and locked up in those projects. And our country is not able to get the benefit of the project. Government is like a relay race. All of us in secondary school used to enjoy relay, where we take the baton. You run, you give it to the next person. He runs, he gives it to the next person. He runs, he gives it to the next person. And as a result of teamwork, you finish the race and somebody wins. Somebody is second, somebody is third. That is what government is like. Rawlings ran his race, gave the baton to Kufuor. Kufuor ran, gave to Mills. Mills gave to me. I gave to Akufo-Addo. And so government should be a continuum. And it means that the Constitution even says it, under the directive principles of state policy, that projects started by a previous government should be continued by the successive government. But what do we see here in Akachi South? All the projects we started, as soon as my administration left office, everything has come to a standstill. Like Chief said, district hospital, 90% complete. 4 years now, it's standing. Taxpayers' money is invested in that hospital. And yet the hospital is not yet available to give service to the people it was meant to give service to, because another government has come. All the electrification projects come to a standstill because a new government has come. All the roads Togbe mentioned, we awarded them on contract. Avenor to Shavi, Ave Dakar Road, all of them, we awarded them on contract. When the new government came, they said all contracts suspended, everybody stop work. They want to audit the contracts. 4 years now. What kind of auditing are you doing that for 4 years the contractors cannot continue to do the work that was legitimately awarded by government? And so that is the challenge we face. And that is why I said somewhere that when I become president again, by the grace of God, we will spend the first year completing all abandoned projects. We won't start new projects. The resources we have, we will use to complete existing abandoned projects before we start any new ones. You go to our secondary schools, the facilities that we were putting in the schools, for 4 years now, they've all come to a standstill. And yet, we are using resources to start new projects elsewhere, when we could have finished the projects that were being worked on. And so that will be a priority for us, that we take an inventory of all abandoned projects all over the country, and we spend the resources of our first year finishing those projects so that our people can have access to them before we start new projects in other places. Togbiwo, Mahama, I know, like I said, about the district hospital. It's almost complete. By the grace of God, we will prioritize it and make sure that the Akachi District Hospital is completed so that you can have access to use it. Development must be widespread, and government is enjoined to spread development so that every geographical part of this country will benefit. And that is our commitment. In office, we cited projects not because of the votes we get from the area. We cited projects because we believe that everybody should benefit from government's, opportunities. And so as a result of that, in education, in healthcare, in roads, in electrification, in water, we're working in every part of the country. I know that Akachi South has specific needs. And under the program that I've been advocating, one of the things we're going to do is to re-engineer all the major markets. And so the market in Akachi is also on program for re-engineering. To put a major market in Akachi so that it becomes a major commercial and trading center, and that our mothers and others who trade in the markets would have a congenial atmosphere to be able to do their work. There were communities that we were extending electricity to. It has virtually come to a stop. Electricity changes the life of people, because once power comes to a community, there are many things that you couldn't do before that suddenly you have the opportunity to do because power has come. And it creates jobs. Vulcanizers can have power to run their vulcanizing machines. Welders can have power to do their welding. Carpenters can use their electronic tools to do their work. Cold store owners can have deep freezers to sell frozen foods, ice water, and so on and so forth. So electricity is transformational. And that is why the NDC government prioritized rural electrification. And today Ghana is the country with one of the highest access to electricity in Africa because of the lot of work that the NDC government did in electrification. We have one of the highest access to clean drinking water. When we came to office, myself and Professor Mills, Ghana had about 57% coverage in terms of access to clean drinking water. By the time we left in 8 years, 76% of Ghanaians had access to clean drinking water. That is what government should do for people. And so, in the next coming, we have a few ideas that I've been talking about. For the countries that have developed, they've developed not because of long grammar English education. they've developed because of technical and vocational education and training. If you go to Germany and other places, if you go to countries like Germany and other places, it's the dressmakers, the plumbers, the welders, the technicians. It is they who are carrying the German economy on their shoulders. Not those of us who speak long English and write big grammar. No. And that's why I'm saying we must prioritize technical and vocational education if Ghana is to develop. Because the new jobs that are coming in Ghana are not that long writing. The civil service, Osafo Mafu said, is full. So they're not looking for new civil servants. But companies are looking for trained technicians. Companies are looking for civil engineers. Companies are looking for building technologists. And so we must reform our education so that we can provide skills to our young people. Because when the children finish secondary school, they have no skills. And so if you are looking for tradesmen, you can't take them unless you retrain them. And that's why we must make a clear route in technical vocational education training. And that's why I'm proposing a free technical vocational education training for any child. So all the children who opt for technical and vocational training, they should have a free access until they reach university, technical university. And so we're going to make TVET free of charge from the basic level right up to technical university, so that we can create the kind of manpower that we need to be able to move this country forward. Free SHS. We started it. It's in our constitution. We started it in 2015. We made it free for all day students, if you remember. And then we started with boarding students in 2016. And then we left office and the new government came. And so it's logical that they should continue with free SHS. But the mode of implementation has been very poor. And that is why I say when we come, we will make it better. There's nobody who can abolish free SHS in this country. And so if anybody comes and says, oh, John Mahama says when he comes to abolish free SHS, the person is a liar, alakato. What we're going to do is to make it better. And the first thing we'll do, government is common sense. You use planning. And that's why when we started free SHS, we started building the community day schools, 200 of them across the whole country, because we knew what was going to happen. As a leader, you must have a vision. Unfortunately, this current president did not have a vision, because you should have just continued the secondary schools we were building. You would not have had this double track problem that you have today, because those schools would have completed, the children would have had access to secondary school. So you have congestion in Akachi Sectec as you have currently. And I give the example of my area. I was MP for Bole Bamboy. And we built one of the e-schools in Bamboy. Before then, when children finish JHS in Bamboy, they either have to go to Bole Secondary, go to Wenchi Secondary, Kintampo Secondary, or Kintampo Secondary. Today, because they have a community e-block in Bamboy, the children, when they finish JHS in Bamboy, continue their education in their own community. Others would have gone to add to the congestion in the 3 secondary schools I mentioned. And that would have even made the double track worse. And that's why I'm saying when we come, we'll fast track the completion of those schools, so that we can spread out the children into the additional schools. Each of those schools can take 1,000 children. And we're building 200 of them. So 1,000 times 200 is 200,000 more spaces in secondary school for children. Would you need double track if you had 200,000 more vacancies for children? You won't. And so I said, Our strategy will be to complete those schools as quickly as possible, post the children to those schools, ease the congestion in the existing schools, and by that we will abolish the double track system so that our children can all go to school together and vacate together. We won't have this, some of them are sitting at home for 3 months while others are in school. Then these ones come, they come and sit 3 months, another batch goes. I was talking to one of the teachers and he said it's difficult. Because after you teach the children and they go home and sit for 3 months, when they come back, what you taught them they have forgotten. And so you have to spend about 3 weeks of the new school year to revise with them and bring them to remember what you taught them before you now start teaching them the new syllabus. And so that's what we're saying. We'll make things better. We have a major problem in this country. The bulk of our population is youthful, and they're coming out of school, basic school, secondary, tertiary, and they come out and there's no work to do. What is the purpose of educating your child and he comes out of school and he can't find a job? And that is why I say the focus of my next presidency, if God wills it and gives me the grace, and I know he will focus on jobs, jobs, and jobs, to create jobs for our young people in every sector, in creative arts, in construction, afforestation, sanitation, and so many other areas, tourism. We can create hundreds of thousands of jobs. And so our target is to create 250,000 jobs every year for 4 years, 1 million jobs. And that's what I call Agenda 1 million jobs. Agribusiness. Since yesterday, I've been crisscrossing the Volta region, and I see people by the roadside bringing tomatoes in boxes from the farms. You go here, they're bringing watermelons from the farms. And a lot of these products get spoiled, because if they're not able to sell them fresh and quickly, then they will get rotten. But there are small machines that you can give families so that they can process these things and be able to preserve them and take them to the market and go and sell. And so that's our focus. We're not going to build big factories all over the country. We're going to give you yourselves small processing machines so that you can set it up in your community. If you go to Ziope area, they do a lot of palm oil. If you give the farmers a small processing machine for processing their palm oil, wouldn't you create employment? They don't need a huge palm oil processing factory there. But if you give them a small, medium-sized palm oil processing plant, they'll produce beautiful palm oil, bottle it nicely, and send it to the market. And so that is our focus in my next administration, to create the opportunity for our people to be able to set up their own businesses and be able to employ other people. Government cannot employ everybody, but if you empower the people, they'll be able to set up businesses, agri-businesses, processing businesses, and be able to employ others to work. And that will create jobs. If you create an enabling environment for the private sector to work, they will create jobs. If you don't stop contractors from working because of political reasons, they will create jobs, because they will employ people. Most of those contractors who were stopped from working, they've laid off all their workers. And they don't see the linkage, because when a contractor stops working, he stops buying cement from the local cement distributor, because he's no longer working. The one who was driving his tipper truck, you say, park the tipper truck. My contract has been suspended. The tipper driver will go and sit at home. He and his family cannot buy food to eat. If a contractor is working, he will buy fuel from the local fuel station. The fuel distributor too will make money. If a contractor is working, the women who go to the site and sell food to the workers, they also get money to go home and feed their families. If a contractor is working, the mechanic, that truck will spoil. He will send it, the mechanic will repair it, he will pay the mechanic too will get money and go and feed his family. And so the economy is interlinked. If the contractor is working, he will go and pay his loan to the bank so that the bank will not collapse. But if you stop him and he doesn't pay his loan to the bank will collapse. And when the bank collapses, the workers in the bank who have nothing to do with the contractor, they too will lose their jobs. That is what is happening in this economy under Akufo-Addo. Because they don't understand the linkages in the economy. But by the grace of God, NDC will come back. We'll fix all this. And make Ghana a better place. Togwe, I know you feel upset about the Traditional Council and all that. But like you said, we would let sleeping dogs lie. And we will look forward. There's a lot that we can do together. NDC has always respected the institution of chieftaincy. And we believe that chiefs are our partners in progress. Before the white man came, it was our chiefs and our queens who ruled over us. If anything happened, let's go to Togwe's house. You were the judge, you were the police, you were the executive, you were everything. And then the white man came and brought our current administration. And there are a lot of things government does. If you don't involve the chiefs, it won't work. When this COVID came, I said, let the chiefs and the assemblymen help you with public awareness so that people will understand the disease. We did it before, during Ebola. We made the chiefs and all of them help us to be able to spread the awareness about Ebola. So this time I go around, I see people, they don't wear masks. They don't understand social distancing. What is social distancing? They've never, come across that, concept. And so you go and everybody is over everybody. If there's COVID, then it means we are all spreading it to each other. But if the chiefs were involved and they explain to the people, they will understand and they'll take it seriously. And so, Togwe, I don't want to take too much of your time. I want to thank you very much for your warm welcome. But before I sit down, I want to present your own son back to you. Every 4 years, we have to bring him back for you to decide whether he should come again. We did our primaries and he was re-endorsed as the parliamentary candidate for the NDC in the coming parliamentary election. He's a young man, but very respectful, very humble, very intelligent, and I've enjoyed working with him in our party. I know he's very well respected in Akachi South. And so I want to give him back to you. And then in the parliamentary elections, you use your kokromoti to bring him back to us. So that all the work that Togwe has asked us to do, the president needs a majority in parliament to be able to work. And so if you give him back to me, it will strengthen me to be able to do all the work that Togwe has asked us to do. And so I want to present to you officially our parliamentary candidate for the Akachi South constituency, the Honorable Bernard Ahiafo. And I'm confident that you will vote for him and return him to Parliament. I thank you very much. God richly bless you.
Ezu, fia miropia, bien ufa, bien da pagarana, miafa, duplola, Ikagbonasia Plagacho, January 7, 2020. President Mahama, miako pagarani. Yo akpa miako nu badodora, cho miafa Muslim leader, bo. Yo. Miara kuna odogbara bo. Miafa togbiwo kple amesiama miatɔ. Nenye be miaƒe dukplɔla dzo vɔ. Wobe miawɔ presentation aɖe na tɔgbiawo ta miawɔ ge le afia. Akpe.
Assalamu alaikum ya jama'a musulmai. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa barik ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده كتابا ولم نجعله عوجا قيما لينذر بأسا شديدا من لدنه ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا حسنا ماكثين فيه أبدا وينذر الذين قالوا اتخذ الله ولدا ما لهم به من علم ولد آبائهم كبرت كلمة تخرج من أفواههم إن يقولون إلا كذبا فلعلك باهئ نفسك على آثارهم إن لم يؤمنوا بهذا الحديث أسفا إنا جعلنا ما على الأرض زينة لها ليبلوهم أيهم أحسن عملا وإنا لجائلون ما عليها سعيدا جروزا أما حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا إذ أوى فتية إلى الكهف فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا وفاتيا Makpadan na masiama moda kuku nya ha gbododoro ya modofia ala nya novi pastor dogbara ya kan nya ha modu ya ta masiama ni pastor to nji ya hamai akpa alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Affection of the land, for weather and seek your future. People love and our God, from vision to victory, and this shall lead. Democrat, Ghana, our strength in unity, from vision to the end is surely stable Democrat, Ghana, our strength in